respected dignitaries and members in the audience, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to present my small research article on depression. I'm a research student with OPJS University, Rajasthan, in Department of Psychology. And today I'm going to share my paper, which is titled Depression Among Married Working Women in IT Industry. And as we all know that IT industry is known for being stressful, depression comes very automatically and women are mostly affected. So that intrigued me to do my research on this thing. And here is my paper. In the year 2001, NASSCOM has predicted that, they have given a report that women engineers constitute 21% of the total workforce. Surprisingly, by year 2018, it grew up to 34%. So, which means a lot of women have taken interest in software engineering. Even during college, also we see the application for female candidates are much more these days. So, IT sector has the largest participation of women. However, this being a very, very demanding industry, stress is also much high in the IT sector because there is no work schedule as such. It is not a 9 to 5 job. It can extend for very, very long hours. So job stress is one of the prevailing mental health issues or the major health issues in IT sector. And studies have shown that women are worse affected by this compared to men. And also because my study was on married women, when I was interviewing them or when I was doing my data collection, and I spoke to a lot of females about this, and I came to know that many, like almost 80% of them have been, in a very poor condition. In a sense, they lack family support. So even after working for long hours in the organization, they still have to come back, do the household chores. The major family responsibilities are still on them. Taking care of the children, whether their homework done or not, it all falls on them. So this is a huge burden. This is a huge emotional load on a woman. Now, so the job stress, which is very demanding, and the lack of family support, that has created a lot of adverse effect on the mental health of married working women. The objective of my study is obviously the first is to understand what the previous researchers has done on depression, to understand the factors of depression in married working women, to understand the major symptoms of depression. Why? Because we normally people use the term depression very loosely, often making it synonymous to sadness, but sadness and depression are not one and the same thing. There are difficult life situations, sometimes adverse life situations. We may not feel happy all the time, we may feel sad from time to time, but that is not synonymous to depression. So it is totally different, and I wanted to study what are the major symptoms, what are the parameters by which we call a person as depressed. Also wanted to study the level of stress among the working women in the IT sector. First of all, what is depression? As I said, it is not synonymous to sadness. Depression is something which needs medical attention also. That makes it unique, because sadness is what, if suppose I had a bad day at work, I had a bad presentation, got a bad feedback, I feel sad, and maybe I can cheer up myself tomorrow. I can hang out with friends, I can eat good food, and my mood becomes okay. This unfortunately doesn't happen with depression. Depression can continue for months, even for years together, often calling for medical attention and needing psychiatric help. So, by the definition of depression, it is a common and serious medical illness that negatively affects how we think, feel, or act. So, for a depressed person, even the springtime, even, nothing cheers them up. Even spring looks like snowfall for them. The person suffering from depression may lose interest in previously enjoyable activities. So these are the two things which comes up as a definition of depression. Sorry. The major symptoms of depression that The major diagnosis, the clinical diagnosis of depression are as follows. An intense and prolonged sadness. So a person may suffer for weeks, for months, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. They are not able to come out of that intense sadness. Sleep disorder is very commonly associated because people who are depressed, they either sleep more or they sleep very less. They either have difficulty falling asleep, or they have difficulty dragging themselves out of the bed every morning. So even small task is it creates intense fatigue for them. They do not get the energy to do their daily work. Persistent feeling of guilt. This is very interesting for me because depression is automatically associated with guilt. So suppose I'm also a married person, I'm also a working professional. So when I see that there are certain duties and obligations at home which I cannot fulfill because I had to devote a lot of time at work, and I'm sure there are thousands of women like me who are in a very demanding job, in IT mostly. So if they are missing important family occasions, if there is a parent teachers meeting at school, they are not able to be available for their child, it creates a sense of guilt. Women start asking themselves, am I a good mother? Am I a good wife? Am I a good partner? Am I a good daughter? Am I doing justice to my family? All this sense of guilt and the balance, the work life balance, when this is disturbed, this guilt, prolonged guilt and stress often triggers depression in women. And during that phase, people are unable to take wise decision. It happens with both men and women, but because my area of study is female, so for female, they are not, they become incapable of taking wise decisions. They cannot concentrate on any task, and often coupled with suicidal thoughts. This I have seen during my survey, during my interview with women. Many of them have reported, majority of them have reported, and some of them have also attempted suicide. They have taken pills and they wanted to end their life, but then somehow luckily they came back. So suicidal thoughts is majorly associated with depression condition. Doesn't mean the person will commit suicide necessarily, but then yes, the persistent thought is definitely there. Now, this pictures, I just wanted to reveal that how depression affects a woman. The first picture, lack of interest in work, lack of focus in work, unable to concentrate, lack of interest in relationships. Because depression and marital relationships, the nature of intimacy that exists between partners, that is severely lacking in a depressed person. A woman may lose interest in social life. If previously she used to hang out with her friends or whatever, she doesn't feel like doing it anymore. Extreme fatigue for no reason at all. They feel I'm not able to drag my body and unable to focus on domestic work and other things. One out of three women have faced depression in their lifetime. So this is a study which was already done. I have taken that excerpt from the study. It shows that one out of three. So this is very, very rampant, extremely prevalent. And researchers have also confirmed that women are more vulnerable to depression compared to men. So men are blessed in that way that they can get away with it, but women, no, they fall prey to this. And they have twice the rate of depression than men. There are a couple of interesting factors that can trigger depression in a woman. First of all, anyone with a family history of depression, it is said, it is believed that depression runs in families. But compared to a man, a woman will be more prone to depression if either of the parents have depression. So irrespective of, I'm sorry, like if anyone in the family has a history of depression, the women are more prone towards this genetical condition, genetical inheritance. Hormonal changes, of course, unlike men, women are more prone to hormonal changes. There's a lot of hormonal changes that happen throughout the lifespan of a woman. This, however, may not be the direct cause of depression, but it is definitely a trigger that makes a person vulnerable towards this disorder. And women experience hormonal fluctuations during her entire lifespan. These changes happen at specific time. For example, during pregnancy, uh, postpartum depression is very, 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 very common in women. They have something which is called baby blues, postpartum depression, hormonal changes during pregnancy, during menopause period. This is all has have contributed to this. The risk of depression, therefore, is biologically very higher in women. Chronic stress and high level stress are a risk factor. Research has also proven that. And many women who go through chronic stress that may result out of extreme workload, they could be subjected to domestic abuse, there could be other adverse life circumstances, maybe the relationship with the partner is not good. Uh, there could be so many factors. So chronic stress is, of course, it contributes a lot. It's one of the main important major factor towards depression. My findings are that nearly 3.9 million Indians are working in the IT sector, in which 34% are females. Research has shown that. And studies have revealed that female attrition rate in IT sector is much higher. When I was, working with Infosys and Wipro, I got an opportunity to interact with the HR, and I came to know that despite having female-centric HR policies, even then, um, the attrition rate for female is much, much higher. The major challenge for married working women is the work-life balance. And many studies have revealed that working under prolonged stressful situation can affect mental well-being. And another finding is women are expected to handle both the home and office with equal efficiency, which is a very unreasonable expectation, because for a person, for a single person to do heavily loaded jobs like handling the domestic responsibility as well as IT sector, it doesn't happen that peacefully. Thus, they have to work for longer hours. They may work for 9 hours or 10 hours in the organization. They have to come back and stretch their day. There are many women who get merely 4 hours to 5 hours of sleep, even less than that. So that is definitely another contribution to depression. In the corporate organization, we know the term called glass ceiling, which means despite working hard, despite contributing equally like a man, a woman do not get promotion. And there are discrimination, there are gender bias, gender discrimination, lack of promotion, salary packages is much less compared to male. The growth rate for a female is much less compared to a man. So these are also the factors. And women remain obviously the primary caregiver at home, take up major domestic responsibilities, responsible for the upbringing of the children. And this takes a toll on the emotional health of married women. And that often pushes them towards depression. Uh, I would like to conclude by saying that stress and workload is inevitable part of working in an IT sector. So therefore, stress management is very essential for survival. I think this kind of skills should be imparted to women, either through HR training or through corporate trainings or whatever. And married women have reported more stress and depression due to factors, as I already discussed. Family support, lack of appreciation, disturbed marital relationship. Now, lack of appreciation came up very, very frequently, that I do not feel appreciated for my contribution. I'm doing so much for my home, but nobody bothers to thank me. I have done so much of my work, still the promotion goes to somebody else. This lack of appreciation creates a lot of mental stress, emotional discomfort. Uh, IT companies should be more accommodating about uh, their female employees. They should devise more female-centric policies. There should be opportunities for sufficient days of maternity leave, provision to work from home, especially for women who have toddlers and maybe aging parents. So they should be given this opportunity also. So HR policies could be drafted in a way which is more female centric. And at the home front, families should be more supportive. because family is the backbone. It's the wellspring of emotional wisdom for everyone. So if there is lack of support, lack of compassion, lack of love and respect for a female, somebody who does everything together, it becomes very difficult for a woman to sustain her life. Therefore, all these things should be, um, all this support should be given to a woman for her to be relieved from depression. Mm, that's all from my side, sir.
Thank you very much. Very nice and lovely presentation.
Thank you, sir.
A lot of information kind of sort of compiled in a very specific time duration. I would request the session chair Yogesh Khadke sir and Reshma Pathan ma'am, if you're there. She was having some internet issues. Any questions?
Yes, it was a really fantastic presentation, ma'am. Very good.
Thank
Lot of information sharing with us. Thank you for your presentation.
That's very comforting, and it has given me a lot of confidence to carry on with my research work. Thank you.
Yes, yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Manoj sir, I have a question for her.
Okay, one moment. Shesta ma'am, somebody.
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, nice presentation. Good thoughts you have given to this a very important topic. In the end, you said that in your presentation that in the reforms that we should do to curb the problem of depression in the women's working in IT industry, most of the should I say facilities or norms are already there, like holidays, giving of holidays, then leaves for maternity leaves, and many kinds of leaves are already prevailing for them. Still, we find that this problem is still prevailing about depression in the women's working in IT and some service industries, and there is a lot of iteration, which is really hampering and bad news, because normally I am not gender biased, but it is said that and experience that women are not better, but I'll use the word sincere workers than male female. So it's a big loss for us, and it's a thing of concern for us. So on this, if you have something to say.
Whether I have something to comment on this?
Yes.
Okay. So, as you correctly said that, yes, there are companies, and I also named particularly Wipro, have extremely female-centric HR policies. However, this is not a custom for each and every IT companies. There are many IT companies who uh, are still doing this discrimination. There are women who, surprisingly, during the course of my research, I came to know that the participation of women is huge. I mean, female engineering students entering into the IT market, that's huge in number. But unfortunately, after 5 to 6 years of service, either to take a sabbatical or either they leave their job. Like, I was going through an article which was telling that the IIT graduates, the female IIT graduates, where are they now? Who passed out in the 90s were supposed to be. You hardly find a CEO in the IT industry. Although it is now made mandatory that females should be there on the board of directors, they should be there, but the prevalence is much, much less. Woman becoming a VP, becoming a director, even becoming a team lead is a hard job. So as you correctly said, if not better, but at par with men, still it is not there. As far as woman-centric policies are concerned, not IT companies are following all the protocols. Yes, there are 2 months of maternity leave, which is provided, but that is not adequate. Example, for a man, technically, there are all sorts of support given to that person. If, I mean, for a married woman, of course, she's staying with the in-laws, considering that there is father-in-law, mother. The affinity goes towards the son. And it's very common, it's undeniable that when the son comes back home, the mother gets up and says, Beta, would you like to have a glass of water? But when the wife comes back home, it says, Bahu, you are late, there are food to be served, you have to be in the kitchen. So this kind of insensitivity towards towards a female, which is rampantly there. And I have spoken with hundreds of female, and this came up. So there is severe lack of support. 80% of them have reported lack of support, lack of what shall I say, bonding with the spouse. And of course, IT industry very demanding right now, sir. Just to tell you that I am also in panel with certain IT companies where I do counseling, and the women say that, ma'am, it is just not possible because 1 o'clock to even till 1 a.m., 2 a.m. at night, we are still working. Just a day comp off. So it is not possible for married women to go through. Through my research and probably in my conclusion, in my suggestion, I would say that IT companies should be more sensitive, looking at the kind of workload they pass on to both male and female and the kind of circumstances both the gender go through. They should be more compassionate. There should be more scope for more breathing space for a woman, rather. That should be my comment, if that satisfy your question, sir.
True. Nicely commented, ma'am, and nicely, stressed on a very important aspect of it. Coming to this, then we could, can we see that 50% of the problem is prevailing in the working culture or in the office area, and 50% at the household area. We can understand that, especially in our Indian culture, woman plays a very important role. She has to balance both the sides, her professional life as well as the home front, which you have very nicely and in detail you have portrayed it. So, ma'am, in this concern, talking about our culture, it's so difficult. I mean, the culture has been in such a way that I mean, being a son, I would also like to say over here that, of course, you are absolutely right. First, attention is given to the sons most of the part of our country, because our tradition or culture is like this in India. I mean, this is absolutely different when you talk about Western countries. But then at home front, how can we basically change the mindset of should I say mother-in-law, father-in-law, or the people in the house? So that could be a big challenge. That's the area. We are going towards socialism, but good points you have stressed on it. One more thing I just wanted to add on. I mean, it could be just a thing that. In the office, they are coming with new concepts. Can they come with a short break of meditation, or somewhere fun session or some kind of things? Because women, of course, I mean, as I said, I mean, they have to take care of their home front as well as the office. So at least office, something could be done where they are not 100%, but some kind of it could act as a fuel to reduce their depression, this kind of activity. I don't know. I mean, it's a very I don't,
In
absolutely
fact,
don't know.
I would like to tell this because you raised this point. I would like to add that there is an organization, I think LG or what, I'm not able to recollect the name. They have actually created creche inside the organization.
That's
So 2-3 stories building, and the ground floor is creche where the toddlers are kept, and there are people separately kept to take care of the toddlers. So the working mother who is sitting in her cubicle from time to time can go and check on the baby. So that is also a major relief. After 2 or 3 years of marriage, women, there is a tremendous family pressure that now we want grandchildren, and whether a woman likes it or not, maybe may have to give birth. So what happens to the child? And now in the generation, you will see that today there are mostly nuclear families. Like suppose I'm from one city, maybe I'm from Delhi, but I have to go in Pune. Maybe I'm from Pune, I have to go and work in Hyderabad. I cannot carry my family members along with me. So somebody who is in IT sector may not always get the family support. That is also one factor. So the concern with the kids remain perpetually in the mind of a woman. So it's very. I would like to put it this way: that pregnancy for us is not for 9 months. We are perpetually pregnant till we die. We are always carrying the baby in our head, if not inside the body. So this is way when we are going. It gives a big solace that I'm working, and meanwhile every 1 hour I could go and have a look at my kid, whether he has eaten, whether he has fallen asleep. That gives a lot of comfort. So when I'm comfortable, I can focus on my work more. That is also a very good initiative taken by some of the IT companies to accommodate, and working mothers. Yes.
Yeah, and I mean, that's a very good, very good idea. I mean, whichever company has made this kind of provisions, we hope that in future many companies make this kind of arrangement for the women. As you said, I 100% agree to you that I mean, their pregnancy is absolutely true.
It's lifelong.
Taking care of the taking care of both the fronts is absolutely very difficult, very difficult. I could see my wife. Good insights, ma'am. I also learned a lot of things about uh, how I mean small points where they are related to the what triggers the depression in the women's. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
Actually, since Dr. Atul Ramgade sir has brought this up, let me share my viewpoint as well as maybe it could be a scope for future research. With my almost 2.5 decades abroad, especially in North American continent, I have never seen something like this taking such a serious shape. They do have depression, but for other reasons. But as far as balancing work and home is a minor player, I would say, so to speak, in the depression, as far as I've seen the life in the Western continent. Since Dr. Atul Ramgade put some, when we say female centric and all these things, my opinion, personal opinion, with my half of life spent abroad in the European country, it could be a scope. Actually, I didn't want to really get into it, but looking at the depth in which you have taken a nosedive into this, interviewing so many ladies and been born and raised here half of my life, I only have one specific of a scope, I would say, or a point, which could be either done by future researcher. The point I see here, as I mentioned again, I will mention with half of my life in Asian country or in India, third world country, as well as European. This, if you ask a question, if I was to ask you a question, what could help you balance both halves? I'm not sure personally myself that a woman from third world country or an Asian country can come up with a finite answer. I think my personal opinion is it's very difficult. It's the law of nature kind of thing. And the third world, the women, expectation from women is never ever going to, I don't see an end to it, especially from the time I've been born and I see things now, whether it's my family or the neighbors or the nation itself, this is not going to end. Either you quit job or you take a job which is less stressful, because you can so far to make it female centric, if you agree with me. So if I was to ask you a question, first is, what is the major contributor? The home, because definitely nobody, even men, they cannot work two shifts every single day for their entire life. And the lovely point I've noticed about what you said is, the woman is not pregnant for 9 months. I really understand, and it was a nice point. You are absolutely right. But what is the solution, especially when I see here? I've seen the Western world and they don't care at all. The culture there is absolutely north and south. They have to do their chores properly. If the kid is with the father for a week, the mother will take care for the week, or they do even kind of sort of time shift arrangement. Evening, you will be taking the care of kids, I will be going out, and so on. So I don't know what could be a specific thing that could be done to resolve this issue, especially in our Asian environment. That's what you made me really think, that what could be done to resolve this. I don't see an end, not just depression, but balancing both halves. It is really a difficult task. I totally understand, and I'm stumbling.
So it will be a pleasure to answer this question. I'm just not recollecting the name of the VP of PepsiCo. That lady, very famous lady. What's her name? Not able to recollect her name right now. She said in one of her interviews that be careful of whom you are marrying, because your life depends on it. Your career depends on it. Mm-hmm. So be careful of choosing your partner, because your career depends on it. So I think if the partner is supporting enough. Now, sir, what is happening actually, be very practically, we are always raised with an idea, with we call it, how shall I put it? Let's say it's been installed within us, it's been instilled within us that you are a female, your main focus is home. Okay, and you will see there is a normal saying in almost all average middle class families that beta, now you are 24, you have completed your graduation, you have to be married. Now, since I have been teaching engineers, I have been doing soft skill training with engineers for a very long time now, and there are many females that I interact with. Per session, I have more than 350 engineering students. So that's a blessing in disguise because I get to know the IT industry so well. So they come and say, okay, ma'am, actually it takes a lot of effort to convince my parent that since you made me an engineer, let me do justice to my education. Let me take up a job because I want to be independent. I want to earn my living. I want to have, certain reputation in the society the way my partner enjoys it or would-be partner would enjoy it. Now, unfortunately, respect is always from the outside world. There is promotion always in the outside world. There is no promotion at home. How many times have we gone back and thanked our mothers? Mother, lovely food, lovely dosa, lovely uttapa, whatever it is. We take it for granted because mom is a good cook. I mean, what big deal about it? But if that person is opening a cafe or, doing things, so there will be rankings in Zomato, there are acknowledgements. Such acknowledgements do not happen at the home. Initially, ages back, years back, during our mother's time or great grandmother's time, this concept of woman working outside the home was not prevalent. It happened recently in the last 20, 30 years or maybe 40 years or so. Women have started stepping out of home. This concept of woman liberation, feminism, and all this thing have come up. So we are also now trying to express ourselves saying that, okay, guys, you have dominated us so much. Now it's our turn. So again, it's a catch-22 situation because if we go and tell men that we do not need them, that hampers their confidence because we mutually need each other. But since we have been oppressed for a very long time, we now want to go and prove our point. And there is something very beautiful that I want to say, that between a man and his success, there is only hard work. Between a woman and success, there comes a washing machine, there comes a kitchen, there comes the preschool, there comes the laundry, there comes so many things. And then, so when they are running for success, women are lagging behind and sometimes they are giving up. Now I see a very major contribution from the partner. I cannot expect, being a female, I cannot expect somebody else's parent to understand my pain. I am not born out of that womb. I do not have any connection with that mother. I have biological connection with my mother. Even if I sneeze, she will come running to me. What happened, beta? I cannot expect that comfort from my mother-in-law. But definitely I can expect this understanding from my spouse, somebody who is my life partner. So that person has to give that support, that encouragement. And because you have lived in US and European countries, you must have seen that women are not grown up with that mentality that since you're a woman, domestic responsibility is prime for you.
Absolutely.
And by the time you are 18, you're out of the house, whether you're a boy or a girl, you earn your own living. So that independence has given them a certain amount of freedom. They do not mind leaving their 5-year-old with a daycare center or probably with a babysitter. We have seen in European countries, we have seen couples, they go out parties at 9 o'clock, keeping a babysitter at home. Maybe they're coming at 2 o'clock at night. Can we afford to do that? As a mother, I don't think I can. My mind will always be there with the baby. So yes, there are cultural differences, there are upbringing differences, there are so many things. So probably making Indian women more vulnerable to depression because one, we want to achieve this, and then we are not able to come out of what already we are put into. That would be my answer.
Yes, actually, that's what I mean. It's an unending issue, especially when we see. But anyway, that's a great presentation, great in-depth studies, great. And I think now I would request Dr. Yogesh Khadke sir to go ahead with his presentation.
I would leave, sir.
Yes, please.
You can see other people's presentation as well.
Yes.
So you got a good session today because you're described as you are doing your PhD with OPGS University.
Yes.
So these type of interactions will be there in the Viva also.
Okay.
So similarly, the session chairs are asked questions. So this is the way you have to answer for your Viva also.
Sure.
So
Sir.
this is a preliminary training for that.
Okay, sir. And I'm extremely happy and thankful, extremely grateful to the sir who have asked me this question, given me this opportunity. It has really boosted my confidence also to present my paper.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, okay. And you can also see the other people's presentation also.
Yes.
Because normally people, what they will do, they will present their paper and quit. So they will never watch on others. So, and you are expecting others to watch you. So it is not good.
I'll be there.
So can I leave? That is why I interfered. Sorry.
Yes. No, I had to finish my work. I'm done for the day now. I will be with the conference.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.